Oh my
So
god.
good.
Oh! Speaking of cracking open a chest, there you go. Oh, he just he just pulled his heart out? Gamologists, Josh and I are a little bit under the weather today, but thankfully we have a special guest here with us today that is gonna help us diagnose our problems and diagnose these clips.
What is happening, everybody? Dr. Jordan Wagner here. I am ready to join Josh and Michael on this adventure of figuring out luck versus skill.
And Skluck, don't forget Skluck.
Yeah, Skluck and skill and luck? What are these words? But we're gonna check it out.
So, Dr. Wagner, The Last of Us Part 2 is our first game that we're seeing today. And I assume, actually I know for a fact, that you have reacted to this game before.
I have, and I'll be the first one to say this is kind of a messed up game. There's a scene where they're taking a golf club and
The scene.
somebody, okay? Come on.
It's a very hot topic of a game, and that scene that you're talking about with the golf club is the catalyst for the controversy.
They go golfing with his brains.
Yeah.
That's right, that's right. It's not gonna go very far.
No.
Ellie is a savage. This is indeed true.
Ellie is quite the savage.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
Like, no chance.
Absolutely no
Cleaning
chance.
house. Straight
Look at the blood
headshots.
splatter on the wall, too. Oh, there's more.
Oh, man.
And the knee.
Okay, okay.
Oh, no way.
Okay. That was awesome.
Right to the jugular.
Oh, man.
That's right, but
There's one more.
I
Chase
love
him
it.
down.
He's running. He's scared.
I would too after that.
Oh, he's coming.
Mono y mono.
okay. Oh.
Oh.
I love when people die in video games in the sense of like from the anatomy standpoint, but like that last kill, you're not gonna die that fast from a hatchet to the abdomen.
It would
and a
take
little
time to
slice
bleed
on the
out,
other side
right?
of the abdomen. Yeah, that instantaneously that person's like dead out, hits a piece of glass, and it's very dramatic. But that's gonna take hours.
You think hours?
Hours, eh?
Hours.
Wow.
Why hours?
The only thing that's gonna be fast is if you can rupture the aorta or maybe get to the inferior vena cava in that abdomen. So here, you're slicing up soft tissue, you're slicing up muscle, and you're slicing up maybe intestines. So yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable, and you're just gonna kind of be oozing blood, poop, all this other stuff. And it's just gonna take a while. So I love video games and the drama of the killing per se in the games. We shouldn't be killing each other, caveat. But in the game, it's just so quick. And you have to, obviously, to keep things moving.
I mean, from where I'm standing, I think it's a skillful play, man. I mean, that was those. What was it? 5 headshots to start off, and then everything else. I mean, again, like we've said in the past with story games, we don't know what difficulty they're on, so that is a factor. But still, really good shots.
The move that I like the best is the jump off the ledge,
Yep.
Disgusting.
knife right into the neck, and neck wounds.
What is I wouldn't say your most crazy, if you want to share your most crazy ER story that you have.
If I see somebody's brain tissue, that kind of takes the cake for me, in the sense that it's just not something you see that often. Sad, obviously.
Or something you want to see that often.
Correct. But, I signed up for this, and there's, hopefully people in the universe that continues to do this. But we crack people's chests. I don't know if you guys know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, if somebody has usually penetrating trauma to the chest and then they lose a pulse, you basically are assuming that there's something wrong with the heart or the aorta coming off. So you basically cut open their chest. And you're doing a huge incision from the sternum to the side, use rib retractors, slice it open, and pull the heart out basically, or open it so you can see the whole anatomy. When I first started, that's crazy. I've seen so many now, it's like common, procedure. At first I thought that would be like the crazy stuff, but typically it's brain matter. It's soft, it's a weird color, and when you see it, like the chance of any meaningful outcome is pretty minimal.
Fair. Well, to us normal, well, I wouldn't say normal, but us average people, stuff like that is crazy. Seeing a lot of that kind of stuff would put people in an absolute tizzy, and they'd probably faint, wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
If you're looking at it as kind of from a viewer standpoint, you're looking at it different than it's a problem that I need to fix.
Fair.
So the way your body responds to it is different. I used to be a sympathetic vomiter, and thank gosh I'm not anymore.
You kind of got over that reflex.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Oh, man.
Dr. Wagner, what is your verdict? Your
Skill.
first verdict here on the show.
I'm going skill because I was impressed by the flying knife triple axle move into the jugular.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to disagree with that as well. So skills all around.
3 straight skills.
Nice. Oh, Mortal Kombat. I'm a professional.
Oh, listen to that reaction.
I love it. Yes.
Bro, I don't think we've
We're
ever
gonna talk
seen
about
any
gruesome.
MK on here, have we? In Lucky
We
Skull?
haven't. No, we haven't.
Nice.
This is the first.
Oh, and it's so
And you
cool.
want to
love
talk
it.
about gruesome, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
Finish him.
Oh, missed.
It's going to happen.
Oh, man.
Expecting something violent because
Oh.
it is Mortal Kombat after all.
Oh!
That's
I
violent.
thought it was going the
That's-
other way.
Decapitation and just gushing blood.
That's crazy.
That was awesome. I don't know about you guys. I was thinking opposite way that this match was going to go.
What way were you thinking?
So I don't know the character's name, but not the woman. I thought the dude was he was setting up to do some crazy move because he's trying different codes.
She comes
basically,
out
you
of
can
nowhere
tell,
with the
yeah,
decapitation.
and then done. Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
And then one move, game over.
So the problem with this is I truthfully don't really know the mechanics of Mortal Kombat all that well. For fighter games, I'm a button masher. No lie about it.
Yeah, same
Oh
here.
yeah. So my wife is murderous when it comes to fighting games. We go to like the old school like arcades that we still have in Southern California. I'm the masher, and all of a sudden she's just doing like up, down, you know, left, right, AB, AB, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm dead.
And that's your head getting decapitated.
I love the decapitations. I don't get to see them actually in real life, thank goodness, but they do happen.
I guess maybe they wouldn't come to the ER if that happened.
Yeah, no.
No, there's not much to do at that point.
They're going somewhere else.
So this decapitation, Dr. Wagner and Josh, what are we thinking for luck, Skluck, or skill?
I think they had a lot of patience to wait for that opportune moment, and just that reason alone, I think, is a skill. For me, I don't know. I could be wrong.
On my end of things, I see one character trying really hard to flip, do a different move, and the one that does the decapitating, it's just waiting, and then just, it seems like maybe that's the only move they got.
The perfect moment. And they were both really close to death as well.
So I don't know. I'm not saying skill 100% on this one.
So you want to go Skluck?
I want to go in between, and that is, if that's in between, I'm going Skluck all the way.
So I agree with you for that as well. I'm going Skluck.
Someone's gonna fly out the window of the car.
Yeah. Oh, come on. He's going to end up, what?
Yeah, parking.
Oh,
This is how you get to the office if you're
perfect.
late, right?
okay then.
Yes. Nice.
You got insurance for
No
that. It's
problem.
fine.
It's all good.
Now getting out of there might be a little bit hazardous.
If you're wearing a seatbelt, you could potentially walk away with this no problem.
You'd probably have some whiplash and a concussion though, right? Like you wouldn't feel good after getting out of this.
That is true, except if you're relaxed. In a weird way, it's
that's like the
our
drunk driving
bodies.
thing.
Correct. So drunk drivers walk away from car accidents all the time because they are half asleep because they don't know what's happening. But if you're watching this and you're contracting your body, that's when whiplash happens pretty bad. You know, the concerned, you're gonna smack your head against the window, so that is one issue. Trauma from your own airbags, that can cause problems too. They're there to save your life, but they can cause problems as well. That was definitely, I'm going hardcore luck.
Yeah, me too.
Same. It's kind of. It looks like they were trying to drift and then just overcorrected into the side of a mountain, and then
Yeah.
here you go.
Yep. Exactly.
And then just walk away. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Hitman 47 in Red Dead.
Redemption Online.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
The dodges. Oh,
Oh.
okay. Pistol whip. Do you think that kind of blunt force trauma to the back of the head could actually cause death?
Not as fast as everybody wants it to occur, obviously.
We're in video
And
game land,
it's-
Dr. Wagner.
This video game land I've got to get used to. Everything happens about 100 times faster.
You've learned your whole life how things actually work, and then here you get thrown into video game land.
Trauma to the back of the head, you're gonna get skull fracture. You're gonna potentially get some sort of bleeding, right? You can get a subdural hematoma versus an epidural hematoma, but typically you're gonna either get a subdural, most common, so it's a ripping of your bridging veins and you have bleeding around the brain. But it's gonna take a while. It doesn't just like boom, blow up. It basically is gonna leak and then cause slow pressure. And when those things happen, that's when you get like blown pupils and you're just unfortunately dead.
Not having a good time.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Just like this player.
Yeah.
Didn't have a good time at all.
He hit him in the leg, which we all kind of don't pay attention to. But initially, which you're trying to actually hit him in the knee to cause him to be unsteady so he can't stand on that right leg. It's actually pretty impressive.
I don't know if this player was going for hitting them in the leg to cause that instability. I think they were just kicking them to kick.
Yeah.
But maybe it is Agent 47, so who really knows?
I'm going skill. He was able to use different mechanisms and then pistol whip in the back of the head. I like all the combos.
I think the sequence was smart, and for that reason, I'm going skill.
I agree.
Okay.
Skill from me. And so you can see on the top left there how small the circle is right now.
Okay.
And then on the top right, we can see that there's only 2 people left. You can see the little player indicator up here.
Got it.
That shows there's only 2 people left. And they're both in trucks. Berthas, as we like to call them around Call of Duty land.
Sweet.
I'm so confused what's going to happen here.
I don't know. Pretty much anything at this point.
Seriously.
You can just have a demolition derby to the end. This player's trying to shoot him.
I mean, do you feel like you're wasting bullets because you're just shooting an armored truck, maybe?
Oh, no. Oh.
Come on.
Well, the bullets can pin.
Okay, got it.
But you have to be very precise with your aim to get a hit.
Got it.
So he's just kind of spraying and praying at the window.
Dude, this is one crazy clip right now.
I'll be honest, I think this player should already be dead.
Definitely.
I mean, you did get
the fact that they're
over.
even alive to this point.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty lucky right now.
Because physics really don't work like that. You're not going to scoot behind the car when it's pushing you.
No.
But
what is going on?
This is so weird, dude.
He didn't run him over, he just hit him.
Like,
oh
wow,
my God.
He just got blown to crap.
So one thing that I usually say around here is if a clip makes me giggle like that, it's usually 100% luck. Something about that just makes me laugh like a little kid. I'm going luck.
I'm going straight luck. There's not even a question.
Definitely luck. The guy got hit by a car and got up within like 2 seconds.
And a big truck.
Not a car. Got hit by a massive truck.
The fact that this player got knocked and the other player tried to run them over and didn't get out and go for the easy thirst and let them get the self-revive off. Got the high ground. Super high ground.
Cheating.
Super duper high ground.
So this is like in a caster mode where you can kind of get different angles. It's not exactly how the player's seeing it. This is the first person view.
Oh my gosh.
When it goes out to that wide third person view, that's more of like a caster mode.
Got it.
Nice shots. Can't quite get that one though.
But they know where they're at.
Yeah. Chuck that nade. Oh, here it goes.
And this is what we call. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I thought
in
he
the
was
doorway.
Oh,
In through the doorway. No way.
Did he yell Kobe or not? That's my only thing I want to know.
Oh man. Oh man. Blew up right by his head.
So what kind of injuries are you going to experience there?
Could you get a broken rib? Maybe you can cause a pneumothorax or hemothorax because you can basically anything that has air in it can get injured. So your middle ear, so you can rupture your eardrum, and then your intrathoracic cavity, any injuries there. Outside of that, could it cause death? Probably unlikely. It depends how close it is.
You think that grenade's not going to kill you?
Depends how close it is. I mean, it's a video game. It didn't.
I mean, you're
they
the
didn't
expert.
do a good job graphic-wise. I mean, the graphics-wise, because if you see the explosion mostly went out the door, like in the cloud of smoke. Yeah, like it just if he was in the cloud.
I get what you're saying. So then you start to get into that RNG of whether you get hit by a shrapnel, and you think that the blast force is gonna hurt like hell, but it might not kill you.
Correct. But again, I haven't witnessed many grenade injuries, and nor am I a ballistic grenade expert. But just looking at the game itself and the fact that he was engulfed in it, so I'm then inferring that he's getting the periphery of the injury.
But for video game land, gents, what are we deciding?
Was his purposeful toss of the grenade to go through the door? Absolutely not.
Yes, I agree.
That was an accident.
So you guys are both going luck, right?
Yes, 100%, because they did not mean to do this.
Based on just the way they were kind of leading their shots before they threw the grenade, leads me to think that they have a level of skill. And so I'm gonna go Skluck on this one. I'm going halfway.
Oh, you wild for that.
I'm wild, man. I'm gonna get roasted for it, but it is what it is.
Minecraft. I'm watching somebody else play Minecraft, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
Okay, so I want to make sure there's nothing more in this clip. Oh, and an Enderman spawn. Nice. Don't look him in the eyes, bud.
Nope. Do not do it.
They're very angry. With half a heart, too. And so in Minecraft, Dr. Wagner, whenever you jump, if you time it perfectly, you can put this bucket of water down, and not like real life, it will slow you down and not act like concrete and save your life.
Perfect.
But,
okay. Which we all know that jumping into water from a super high distance acts just like concrete.
But they mistimed it. But luckily, you can see right down here in the middle left, this is their hearts, their health that they have. I think they were full health, and they got out by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, they mistimed that so hard.
Very terribly.
Yeah. Like, by no means is this anything but luck. The question
Did I just see a piece of poop come out?
I think it was XP.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy just shit himself. People poop themselves all the time when they have trauma or when their heart stops. You defecate. It just happens.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
checked
if
out
that
for a
was
second.
a sneaky
I
way.
apologize. Holy shit, that's incredible. And I meant to say that on purpose. Oh, it's probably the rotten flesh. That's probably what you're seeing. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it just looks like a big. Yeah, but it's perfect placement.
Yeah, it is.
Just after he dies, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness.
That's great.
Do you think there's any element of skill in the fact this player did make a mistake, had half a heart of health, but still was able to do what they needed to do to survive even against an Enderman attacking them?
Definitely luck.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
so not even a little bit of
You're-
skill there after the fact. See, now I'm trying to play the little devil on the shoulder again.
Oh, I just said luck from the start, man. No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Battlefield V. I always loved Battlefield V. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna get roasted for saying that. Battlefield 5.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
ignore that comment.
Okay.
It's Jin!
It's
Sakai!
Jin Sakai. Ghost of Battlefield.
Oh, God, no. Okay, bud. I mean, at what point are they going to turn around and realize that they're being turned into steaks?
I mean, he's just slicing them up, man. Slicing
Or
and
sushi.
dicing. Got a little bit of rice and some seaweed.
Are you a big sushi guy, Dr. Wagner, or no?
Yeah, very much so. Give me some tuna, give me some salmon all day long.
Good man. I love me some
So
sushi.
good. Yeah,
Is this
so
ever
good.
going to end?
Bro, this is crazy. It's just going on and on. I mean, they got the smoke to cover them at least.
I remember doing this as a kid, right? When you're just taking a sword in two hands and just swinging, like when you have 40 people around you, you know, like I'm just closing my eyes. That's what it felt like. We've seen all like the movies where people are slicing people and chopping limbs off. Usually you gotta hack through them pretty good. It's not just like one simple slice.
'Cause
Maybe
bone's
if you have
tough.
the sharpest, bone is tough. I'm not gonna say I've had to sever somebody's body part before in surgery, but it does take a little bit of effort to basically.
We had talked about
cut
like
through a bone.
breaking somebody's chest open, and that takes like special tools to do that, like a saw
Yeah.
almost, correct?
You'll even go through a sternum. Actually, it's kind of more grotesque than you think. It's actually like a weird blade, almost like the head of an axe, basically. And then you take a hammer to pop through it.
From a luck or skill perspective, I don't know, man. I mean, Smart's using the smoke for cover and kind of juking in and out, but feels kind of lucky in a sense too, because it's like it's a lot of people to just like not kill you.
How much do we weigh in the fact that the enemies are very clueless? Look running through this. This is exactly what this is. After this kill, look at him. He's just whipping air. Just
Yeah, that's me. That was what I would be doing in this situation. But a trained military individual shouldn't probably be doing this.
It may not
Maybe
be.
they just got lucky. Maybe they're not skilled.
No.
For me, it's a combo. It's Skluck, because in the situation you got the cover, right, of the smoke. So let me use close combat fighting. So I'm going to use a sword that I have versus a knife. But then the action of how they're actually killing somebody is just this weird waving. So the plan seemed good, but the execution seemed off.
Josh, what do you say? Have you already given your verdict?
No, I haven't. I think I'm gonna go Skluck. Heavier on the side of skill a little bit, but still Skluck.
It kind of just seems like he threw himself in there and was hoping for the best with the loot pinata. I'm going luck, full luck. And I finally disagree, so go me.
Go you.
There you go.
Old
Yeah,
school.
old school. I love it.
Super duper old school.
Oh,
Oh, this girl is not messing around.
that's awesome.
Wait, where did she come from?
From the dark void.
I mean, this guy's getting his beat, and there's
Oh, he's gonna smoke.
Awesome. I get to play video games with my wife. We go to a place called Coin Op, and I get demolished. I have no chance. Like that was wonderful. Yes. I'll take a beating to see that skill.
That's just where you turn off the console, you leave the arcade for the day, and you go stare at the sunset.
Exactly. Yeah.
So skills all around. I'm taking a guess.
Skill all around, and if you just take a look at the game from back then, we don't get to see any like blood splattering. I don't know, any like the anatomical issues.
Well, there's a lot of anatomy going on.
Yeah, there is. But that was in the design of that was definitely the design of the characters. But when it comes to like the trauma injuries that are occurring, you don't really see much. Like the last final move, the question is there potential enough force to cause cervical fracture and the head's all jacked up? Or, is there blood or broken jaws or messed up maxilla due to the trauma to the ground? All that stuff, that's where my brain goes. But from just watching it, this person just has mad skills.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I like the healing mechanisms in this game.
Yes. So we're in factory. This player's a scav. And he just killed 3 PMCs. Just like that.
Wow.
Okay, that was quick.
Seemed a little ballsy, no?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the Tarkov pro here, but from where I'm sitting, it seemed like a very risky move that had a mixture of skill and luck, and it seems Sklucky to me. But Michael, can you confirm that?
I want to see if on his initial pass, if he notices the people in the stairway. You can see them. So that immediately makes this wide peek really stupid. Whereas if it's in a 1v1, I think it's a great play.
So do you think he's fully lucky or he's still Sklucky?
I think it's Sklucky because you still had to turn and have really good pinpoint accuracy with the hip fire.
I'm gonna go with the other side and say, walked through the room, saw the situation, was like, oh crap, brain knows where everybody is, and just fired away. It looked calculated, so I'm going skill.
I'm glad we got to see this game so much.
Yeah.
Car soccer.
Car
That's pretty much
soccer.
what it is. And right off the bat, I can already tell you that this player looks like they're in a gold rank, which is not the highest rank, not the lowest rank, but it's closer to the lowest rank than it is the highest rank. But if a gold player's air dribbling like that, that's kind of hard to believe. That was impressive.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty nice, man.
Oh.
They're still going. Oh, so you see what his teammate's doing?
Yeah.
He's just trolling. He's doing the whirly bird over there.
Oh.
This player doesn't even need his teammate.
No.
1v2? Oh, and he tied the game up. Look, he was down 2, and now it's tied 3-3 with 30 seconds left.
Oh, gosh. Are they going to win the whole thing? Is that what's happening here?
This player is not a gold player, by the way. I just want to let that be known.
No.
They are quick aerial.
Yeah, who's doing this like weird? Every time you're like, oh, no problem, I'll just flip around.
Really good players. Oh, pinch it. Oh, okay.
Wow.
And then freedom. Oh, go in.
Wow.
Go in.
Oh.
And he wins.
With 7 seconds on the clock.
There's still time.
There is still time. For
Anything
one more?
can happen in this game.
One more goal?
Oh, hit it right into
Oh,
your net.
no.
That's not ideal. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
See,
You got lucky on that part.
I was so convinced about my decision until that ending.
That was all 100% skill until the ending.
I enjoyed that. I'm looking at this thing. The guy knows what he's doing. So the question is, why weren't you destroying the game at the beginning versus having to come from behind to try to get your win?
I assume that this player's teammate is probably a random teammate, and maybe the chemistry was off. Maybe they were making some plays that were detrimental to this player that caused some goals, and maybe they had a little bit of bickering in the quick chat, which led to this other player acting like a toddler.
Because of that ending, I got to go Sklucky on that, man.
I'm still going skill because you know what? You know how many professional soccer players have had accidental own goals? They're still awesome.
A lot.
But it does happen.
I'm going to go Skluck, but I also want to let it be known that this player was not a gold. Not even close. We're in a gunfight, and my eyes hurt.
Yep.
What is this random night?
God.
What? Come on.
Okay. Physics, Dr. Wagner. And the fact that they traded too.
That hit the sides like 3 times before it went into the opponent.
So this is another thing that is common in video game land, where in Call of Duty, you could take 2 bullets to the head sometimes and not die. But if you get hit by a little knife in the toe, you're gonna die. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but.
That's great. They both had the right idea at the exact same time.
Well, I wonder if they also may have been in communication, said, hey, listen, bro, throwing knives only. Because sometimes that is a thing.
Oh.
Where you want to spice up the gameplay a little bit.
Where's it take him? I want to know where does it get hit?
In the knee for our player.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I saw it. Holy cow! Come on. To throw something that far and have it go into a bone is probably unrealistic. You know, could you get it into the soft tissue? Probably. Or it's probably gonna bounce off realistically. But we do get people who get stabbed a lot. I see stabbings all the time. You'd be surprised. Like, I've seen people get stabbed in the heart. Like, seriously. Come through.
God.
A lot of people try to stab people in the head, and I know in like different worlds, games, and maybe randomly on TV, it goes through the skull, but it's pretty hard to do that.
Okay, so for this clip, what are we deciding?
I don't know.
Well, I need you to know.
I
This
have
is kind of like our job, dude.
Josh, I'm going skill because they knew what they were doing and they were attempting to do it, and they knew the game that no matter where they hit the individual, it was probably going to cause a death blow.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna sound weird coming out of my mouth. Scunlucky. I'm gonna go skill and the fact that they were able to hit the throwing knife, but also unlucky in the fact that they took one in return. So scunlucky. I don't want that to be a thing, so let's not make it a thing, but it's gonna work for this clip.
I think I'm with you on that. So skill, but they were unlucky.
Say it.
Scunlucky.
So stupid. That's not becoming a thing. Overcooked and underwhelmed. I'm already a little disappointed by the title.
Well, we got a burger
Beginning
guy.
of the game.
Burger guy's gonna
Getting in the
explode.
Ferrari.
Oh.
Here's your car, Doc.
Oh, I love it.
And a Ferrari. That's so sad.
So sad.
He wanted vengeance for cooking him as a burger. I mean, he just cruised right through. Just boom.
So that has to be the enemy squad that all landed together, right? That has to be why they're as close as they are.
Yeah.
The intentions are good. The execution's a little off.
You think it's a little fortunate that it lined up for him like that?
It looks like the intention was to get to that Ferrari, but then the destruction of the Ferrari really hurts inside.
Yes.
To watch that.
Yeah.
But the intention was to get the car and run over the individuals. It's just the foresight to then not destroy the car after you've just demolished a couple people was a little lacking.
But I gotta imagine that if you're hitting a human being or a cartoonish being at a solid little speed, that it's probably gonna cause some damage to the car. Probably not gonna make the car blow up, obviously, because that's not how things work. But it's gonna damage the car a little bit.
How many feet was that? I don't know, like 20 feet, 30 feet? You probably can't get that car up to maybe 30 miles an hour, at most 20 miles an hour. So it's not gonna cause that much damage. You can potentially break a leg, an ankle, but they're gonna fall on your hood.
In terms of the play itself, I think it's a little lucky that all 3 of them just so happen to be lined up in the exact same spot. But the player obviously intended to do what they did, and I think that side of things has a level of skill. I mean, I don't know how skillful you got to be to plow through people with the car, but
Not very.
not very, but still.
I'm looking at this, I can do this. I can get this done. So when I can get it done, we know it's luck.
I think the play is pretty lucky. You could argue with Skluck, but I'm going straight luck too.
Well, here's my thing. Is my depiction of luck is not necessarily that anybody could do it. It's the fact that they weren't doing what they intended to do. I think there's still like skill there. Not like hardly at all. So I'm gonna go Skluck. Interesting outfit. I'll say that.
I love the suit. That's right. That's right.
Oh God, that didn't look
no.
very athletic. Why?
Oh.
Okay, Doc, I feel like this is great for you to break down here.
I enjoyed the landing. The flop over is a little rough. So what we worry about in the hospital is somebody who's falling from heights 3 times their height, right? So that's what we consider like a severe trauma, greater than 15 feet typically. So you always have to worry. Somebody's gonna land like that, you have to worry about calcaneal fractures, so the fracture of the heel, and the amount of force goes directly up. So if somebody has any other injury, you literally have to get x-rays all the way up, even into the spine, could cause spinal compression fractures with that amount of force landing right on concrete.
Especially landing like that where you don't have a lot of shock absorption, it's gonna
right.
hurt so
Yeah.
bad. What kind of force would it take to see, like, I feel like I've seen this in movies where your shin bone is gonna come up through like your kneecap?
Typically, it shouldn't come up that way in the sense that you have your tibial plateau, which is the top of the tibia, which then articulates with the femur. Typically, it'll snap lower. When you see things that are popping out of the skin, it's usually just below the tibial plateau or mid-shaft. Tibia fracture, it's like a knife where the bone is so sharp when it gets fractured that it slices through the tissue. We call those open fractures. But what you end up having to do is actually put the bone back quickly. So you can't just let it sit there, right? So if you have the bone sticking out of the skin, we, in a really sad, mean, try to give pain med way, just pull on it and put it back in an anatomical alignment and then splint it in place. Somebody, there might be a little bit of screaming. And then you go to the operating room thereafter to get it washed out and put back together, because then you gotta clean it up, antibiotics, soaks, and all this stuff.
That's intense.
Horrible. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And you see this kind of stuff every day.
Pretty much every day.
Wow.
In different varieties.
So basically, this guy was super lucky.
Well, I think they're also lucky in the fact that they were kind of in a free fall and just happened to land on their feet as well. Lucky to be standing and lucky to even land on your feet in video game land where it doesn't do damage. Luck for me.
Oh, luck.
Josh, I
Yeah.
assume the same for you.
Yeah, lucky.
There we go.
Here we go.
Night Wolf. This is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite characters.
You say he's one of your favorites?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that tickled.
Oh my god, you're getting your ass whooped, bud.
He's getting annihilated.
Oh my god.
Give me a
I'm not
finishing
getting up
move.
from that, I'll be honest with you.
Nah.
I'm not getting up from that.
Oh!
Oh yes. Love it.
I love it. Oh my
So
god.
good.
Oh! Speaking of cracking open a chest, there you go. Oh, he
There
just
it is.
oh! He just pulled his heart out? And then for no reason, he just stabbed him in the cranium? What the?
Yep. I love it. That's why I love it. I love this guy. This character's
I
awesome.
see why.
There's so much to unfold medically, but we'll get there in a second.
I think the gist of it is they're dead.
So you got this sweet weapon that he takes to the skull. Doesn't go through it. It just basically smashes the head, maybe causes a fracture. Then, when the guy tries to kick him, he grabs his leg and actually takes the blade into, could be like the femoral artery of the leg, or the femoral vein, which is awesome. And then, of course, we just see just stab wounds to the abdomen, which we know are just going to cause pain versus hurt you, right? I mean, versus like kill you. But then straight through the sternum, ripping it open, and he doesn't need rib spreaders. He just takes his own bare hands. You got to be super careful. So bones are super crazy sharp. We have to be careful with our own bare hands when we're touching, because we can actually slice our own fingers on somebody's bones. You got to be careful. The only thing I don't like, I'll complain once as a physician, is the finishing stab wound to the skull, into the brain. If you watch, there is a flow of blood coming out after. Watch this. I don't think it's from the chest. See, the chest isn't bleeding, but the head is squirting. We do not have vessels in our brains that do that. We have a lot of small ones, but we do not have pumpers like that are just gonna just Mount Vesuvius sort of thing of just kind of coming out. So that's the only thing that's a little bit off. But he also has crazy amount of strength and already probably had weakness to the skull itself there. So the possibility of putting the knife through is much more. So
Wow.
So that is
Badass.
so wild.
That,
Loved it.
that is quite the breakdown.
So I know we all agree this is just gruesome, but as far as luck, skluck, or skill, what are we going with?
Skill, no doubt.
100% skill.
Yeah.
Skill.
That was awesome.
It was a perfect
Skill
KO.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that we broke that down a little bit where we could get the inner workings of kind of baiting the enemy into doing certain moves and playing off of that or predicting a lot of that too. So very smart. And with that, another episode of Luck or Skill has commenced. Now, Dr. Wagner, here when we get done with watching all the clips on Luck or Skill, it is accustomed to Josh and I and our special guest, which is you today. We have to go and decide our favorite clip that we saw this week.
Give me Nightwolf all day long. The Mortal Kombat finishing move. Give me awesome anatomy, ripping open a chest, and just it was perfect. The gamer who was playing that character knew what they were doing. So one, that was awesome. And then to be able to just calmly, systematically brutalize the opponent and then rip the heart out at the end. Come on.
So what you're saying is they saved the best for last.
Save the best for last. I'm an anatomy junkie. That's what I do for a living. Give me anatomy and I will start drooling.
Well, at first, when we started off this episode, I thought it was going to be the Last of Us clip because it was pretty good. It was pretty freaking good. We haven't really seen Mortal Kombat on Luck or Skill. And so I'm actually going with the same clip. That last Mortal Kombat clip was just absolutely brutal. A perfect KO. And just the way that he just got sliced open, the heart ripped out. I mean, dude, the brutality of Mortal Kombat has always been absolutely insane. And as disgusting as it sounds to say, I love it. So that's mine. But what about you, man?
You guys encapsulated it as well. I'm a nerd. Blood and gore and violence is right up my alley, and that was all three of those.
So that wraps up another episode of Luck or Skill. Dr. Wagner, thanks so much for joining us this week. We had a blast. Tell the people where they can find you, though.
Awesome. I love doing this. This was fantastic. You guys can all check me out on my own YouTube channel, Dr. ER, to check out awesome reacts and maybe learn a little extra education.
We learned a lot in this episode, and if you guys did too, be sure to leave it a like. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to Gamology here on YouTube and check them over on Facebook as well. We will see you guys very soon in another episode of Luck or Skill. And until the next one, game on, and thanks for watching. We learned a lot in this episode. Oh my gosh. We learned a lot of... We learned. It's
Take a breath.
It's just gonna be like a blooper reel of me saying like we learned like 50 times. We learned.